Titan Gaia, ever-present Mother of Earth. I have watched you become a powerful warrior, and I have been with you through all the events of your life, but I can no longer simply watch. We will help you defeat Zeus.
Gaia is one of the earliest gods. Her name means earth, and she really is what we'd think of as Mother Earth.
In the Great War, Gaia wasn't completely against the war between the Titans and the Olympians, because Gaia, above all, wants balance.
She's often portrayed in support of Zeus. It's Gaia who helped Zeus's survival at the very beginning by helping to whisk him away and substitute him for a stone. She's generally favorable to Zeus, but she's never completely on the male side.
Gaia, I guess in mythology, is not considered actually a Titan. She's considered Earth, and we just decided to make Earth a Titan.
Gaia was one of those characters whose true background in mythology was a little more complex than the story we actually ended up telling. We kept with the theme that Gaia is still Mother Earth. Gaia is a protector, and she actually ended up evolving. In God of War I, the narrator was not Gaia. In God of War II, the decision was made that, wow, look, we've got this other character. What if we tied the narration into this? And that kind of added more backstory to her involvement in the product, and then we just further enhanced that in God of War III.
In his near-death encounter, Kratos learns the ultimate way to defy Hades.
Death is an escape, Kratos. You are a warrior of Sparta, not a coward. Only a coward accepts death.
I am no coward.
Then you must fight. I will show you the way to the Sisters of Fate. Only with their power will you defeat Zeus.
In the God of War universe, the Sisters of Fate played a key role in the second game. They controlled everyone's fate. They were the ones that were responsible for creating the threads that basically everyone's lives lived on.
So every single human has a blueprint of what their fate is, and these sisters hold the keys to that.
The Sisters of Fate were also known as the Moirae, and they controlled the so-called thread of life of each living being. And this included mortals and even the gods and titans themselves.
There were the three sisters, the Moirae or the Fates. One would spin, one would measure out, and one would cut the thread of your fate, which corresponds basically to your human life.
The idea is that the shape of your life, the length of your life, has been predetermined before your birth. And the way the Greeks conceived this was the three fates.
While the sisters themselves didn't have the ability to travel through time or control time, they certainly could peer into the future and had that gift of prophecy.
For the second time, Kratos escapes Hades. On the back of Pegasus, he faces the wrath of a most unusual force.
Not help you.
Typhon is one of the nastiest titans. Zeus, actually, after the Great War, encapsulated him inside of a mountain. And that's where Kratos finds him. He flies the winged horse Pegasus into this mountain. And Kratos needs something that Typhon has, and that's called Typhon's Bane, and it's this wind magic.
After the Great War, Zeus was being a bit too extreme with his power, particularly in his punishment of the Titans. And Gaia wanted to get back at him for this because she wanted to restore balance. And to do this, she crafted and gave birth to this incredible monster named Typhon. And Typhon's upper body reached all the way up to the stars, and his lower body was made of hundreds of serpents. And the battle between Typhon and Zeus seemed like it would never end. Zeus finally had to pick up an entire mountain and crush Typhon with it in order to defeat him. That was how strong Typhon was.
He is associated with winds, and there's been a lot of speculation whether his name might be etymologically linked with Typhoon, because he is the god who releases blustering forces. Most scholars now think that it's just a coincidence, but at the same time, he is associated with winds.
From the fury of Typhon, Kratos then encounters one of Greek mythology's most tormented beings.
Who has placed you in this torment?
Zeus. My only crime was helping mankind.
Prometheus was a Titan who was seen as the champion of humanity. He was always looking to help humans and develop their civilization. And Zeus, of course, on the other hand, was typically annoyed with humans, and he was constantly bickering with Prometheus.
At one point, he stole fire so that human beings would have fire to cook food. He concealed it in a fennel stalk and gave it to humans. Unfortunately, after he did that, the king of the gods got angry, Zeus, and decided to punish him.
And so in punishment of this, Zeus drives a great column through Prometheus and has a bird come and pick out his liver every day. And at the end of the day, the liver will grow back and this bird will come back. So Prometheus is kept in eternal punishment.
Please, ghost of Sparta, release me from my torment.
In scenes in Greek tragedy that we have of the binding of Prometheus, we see two henchmen of Zeus come to bind Prometheus, and they are called Kratos and Gaia, two words in Greek that mean strength or force or violence.
Ironically, in classical Greek texts, one of Zeus's minions that chains Prometheus is named Kratos, where in the game, we see the character Kratos freeing Prometheus from his endless punishments.
At the beginning of the War of the Gods and Titans, Kratos does the will of Zeus. He's simply a flunky of Zeus. He has no personality of his own. He can't see anything except from Zeus's perspective. He's just a thug who enforces Zeus's will.
Of course, our Kratos isn't like that, but he is a pawn. And a lot of times when you're in a creative environment, you have things that we call happy mistakes. And I think that might be one of them. Kratos, the character was completely fleshed out. The story was written and we hadn't decided on a name yet. So that was one of the things that came very late. I remember a time when we had a vote on the team and there was like 5 different options of like, what name do you like the best? And those were presented to the team, they were presented to marketing, and then it ended up becoming Kratos.